motion to talk about hooliganism, violence in football. And he was particular, not particular about the CEO in Swatre, because mention ye a kotokoni in Swatre boy at the end of the day kotoko chiteni bako ehwe nenkwa. Enti enumu ena nkomo twetwe na eba no. MPs bebre edioma no atoto nkomo ni bi. Na boss personally nipa onse na me follow sa proceedings personally nipa ne kasa ne Toma kuma so pa no Honorable Isaac Adongo oye MP e Boga Central ono de utie ne kasa na utimu se oye obi odibo echi papa na eniema esisi ye before during and after sa incident no na okani nyina ho asem de esi ye nyina okan policing okan stadia particular about baby esi akan na wakan asem bia boss me de pa okan quote bi Clementino ba or the extended version beba na Honorable Adongo say boss me pe ne exact words and where the verbatim you could see the verbatim or say if the GFA adi na they no frame ya ma di abuafasui yes boss or say if the GFA cannot follow rigorous protocols for licensing our football stadia, we should not be playing football as a country. We can't say na bako atoma kuma so pa no. Or say GFA no enti in fact club license mrano enya adwuma kete on hye ne kete emfa nya adwuma eni kwan say ebobo man mu ha. Evi say sa ogomra ni mu a eno na de sa na ma esisi ye wo nso atre ni biba. Ti ye wo say GFA no ehwe na omo eye sa na ma ne ho adwuma papa mpanyimfo pi na akasa de afa ho. Yes, Honorable Kwamnachi Stuttgart kasa Honorable Millicent Amankwa onso ono ni mpesi aso na asem ni siye o MP e de Masunyane West ono kasa Honorable Mahama Ayarega a ono majority leader of parliament ono so kasa bi kwada so MP Kingsley Nyako ono so kasa bi and then MPs ni bi so de o ma no etoto nsem nimti boss and then the full conversation Honorable Samia Oku Samia Oku so very particular about officiating yes
no makoka ho asem
yes
but kakra meka ne se
meba we dem amen council so wadaroma
utwama no
mintwa wa no minim ba bia a ofri ba Honorable Isaac Adongo obewi no ka se ensem no mo ka no e ma ne nye se omo be ka no mo agya ho akọ omo as parliament omo make sure say justice ebe prevail no mbe take matter ne up ne nsem no mo ka no o ma hye GFA no ama ne dia ya adwuma se de be ya football be tumpo
ojidi so mbe
say waka but say
question yeah no
eno de boss nsem pi na akọ no mo ka wi na o ma gya ato nti no ye hwese we die ewu abam no ebia na ombesesa status quo ne besesa na afi
select committee on sports or parliament
yeah
omo na bia nka ye hwe ni musa asem we bae no komati agina
se ba o mate foforo se ba ko ne de aban foforo ba se no begu ana
abotre folo nya abotre Blasters baby agina ni e de na wo Blasters ho a anko ya yenka wo parliament ntulo mibisa o
ma kampi
ensesan be na ba
ensesan bi ama
the bia ye complaining about Blasters budget sika ye de ma Blasters at the tournament a co parliament ye na koda
asemo
ye na koda ye tena Ghana ha ene na mrahye bedwafo be hu se hooliganism wo yebo mu diko obi anwu dia kenko ka ho asemo parliament obi anwu a kenko ka ho asemo parliament
say reforms na eden was start free baby ntino
solo
boss
enko yenim nyesa ebeki kan sem bibiri amana ko fanse maba enko yenim why
but me dem feel say
say football na me tu obi a say we obi a pe ball oni ji football ho atu hofo
but say weekend the football resume
ewo
FA Cup and some Premier League clubs
there me see tu hofo
involved
and twen say me na metena ha tu hofo so enkwan do
pa
enkwan ede
pa
tu hofo na dey we edidima so many years and then they baby dey abeduru ni Ghana asem mediana ehamene say and then ya so mutintan yanu beko so lo yenya duru ho na wamana nie ne de wada kasim ne ka anwe agusua
eno anu bia
wai ase na manfo bi di asa
ebi kure ko didi mu di akire nyina kom de
waba yie na wanya adwane ani na ne bu afu atonim so bi da fom si ade san na asemasa nti me de afutuo am de be mo bibia ne se tu hufo solo because oman na yetimu no oman Ghana na yetimu no solo utima no adweno ho
ti say the all can say match 10 bia ndi
bo ti ne kuro bi e fe no dweno ho me de men ka sa o kwa no make sure say security is safe body obi minti ko kanche obi se mo obi ni bo achi so lo in the media magazine obi ni bo achi afutuo na me de ma on say wo hwe se kona wo ko no so lo kwan afa so koye no o de sa kwan na na bebe fidi akọ
say wa ogidi say ahobambo hu hia
yes
na wa obetimi abo ho ban
yeah baako na ekomienu na ekomiensa na ekon99 enum nsiansia ensonson nwotwe nkono edu na ekekako
yeah
say dem make no timase
mate ase pa
nti eyese no ma discuss me ameti idea me ni arehemu nti parliamentarians no munye bibi me nya arehemu wo mu
okay
park ya ye kan ho asem solo you started see a complaining about your football pitches enye ne ye kan ho asem ache ba Ghana ha no solo de enije ho a say ya she players GC atena basum se park ni yo you choose 3 points no ahead of Sebi Park fun ay bobo so shekotokoni nso atre park na players bobo so players ninti a supporters atwa hia wo stadium amokohwe wo no hwe park na bobo so edie na kire se sa parking ye the ball league game for a whole season yenya about 20 to 30 players on benya injuries a better no mo career
very likely
and yaso sa nyoma we so a wo mem ha yaso so sa and e koso wo mem ha so na e koso wo mem ha e de meka masaka biem tu ho fo na Ibrahim ni ehwehani si ebehu no si ehu no na me na be kire na me na be kire
yeah
dizolo
police for ne bomodin bia
parliamentarians ne do mase o mai mu ha ho ne yeshemra ana meboa
ai
okay komu ye wewi ana koma frefe for momra ye hwese de munyom esi ko na bo no kra na ambo no mu hodu on na mo gope park papa na mo bo so because
you see the suggestions in basa because eno akra no local leagues committee chairman say
ono kwa de na asem ne de ebufu kra chen obi ade ne jai
o senka ye
ne de ne de sales court we are next and Kokasma resign. That's why I head of domestic competition.
I in Gunachi.
Ah,
Yachichi in Gunachi.
And I would to.
And I was so I wouldn't say before there.
Yachichi will say Guachina
to me, yet said the Opeso Yeno.
Hey, as a man as a local. Yachichi in Gunachi or any other position. Na
say position obenya
ka. Na akwa no ajalawa.
Obenya kakra tafe. Eja, edwuma so hoden.
Dr. Tony Oben o wono so ne de.
But the horse say ne.
Debi. Says can enya ne hwe.
Hey, boss.
Enya ne hwe. Dr. Tony Oben. Unim no.
Minim ne pa. Na say the maker say adwuma ya chichiru say gu achi ntimi nya adwuma say de open no. Say enya tafra kakra de say ne nka wo say ujayo ana ebi ana ebi so aside financial benefit no other benefit bi a e wo ho no ma onya
ene de kasa kire dani ene kasa kire dani omo me bisi bi ma de si 1961 na BBC
head of technical na
kasa kire no yes I de si 1961 na BBC ene
me buy na yi assure me slide so assure me so say the
I start here ba
is
yes
and
I start here ba
na no say ye ka senka we bi nye say
I sa kwana ofro trotra eji animu ji akire eji mfifin afi du akire akwai na hwe ne pesa wo hu o tini sa shana ha no de sa shana ha na me pesa we fede akwai na atwie sun wo kai mu na me tini business ade say me hu me diga me hu me pesa de si 71 na bibesi na me tini si de ne si 71 o se sa na 1971
me pesa
ira Emma me nante ye e feel a passport down so man nti ne nante ana me sa nante so enti
yes na so ne obi akrofia basoro no obi akrofia basoro no go ye sure say wa baso
ya semo
edio
Dani Same fayi kakra fasi ne nkomba why mame na pinka na yenko ne masisi ebesa basisi why yenna ne hu kakra bi na yemra ebesa basisi enche kura ebeba mame na pinka what are you of the year no
oh yes
na enu na Clementino be ka se kotoko supporters no mo say omo de peaceful walk e ko club ni secretary omo de come meda no
omo de ko Saturday
okay ene mo mpa mo mama
say boko ye be me see e ba ni say telephone so ko de ye bo match ni na na me ne general secretary e di so e di boko ba na ne kwan so a na mbedi kan ya ba abebusa ya no asem na matie ansa na mafrefre say mo nyina mo mrankran won tie ya asem entina mo nkran na mo frɛ say ba obi adwen a mo kwa koti na die nti e haye no na motie na mo nkai makohia de course wo ho de ye ni ebisi atendidie ba mu yenya instructorman bi voice note ono so asene say omo ba ye no behia ye atendidie ni nyina begu ye be mi nyina begu ye say ye mum ani anye ni ye ni e kase ye ko ye e kodi engugu a asem si ye na ne nam ha afekwa de enkonkoti se sika ni awon no stadium na mesro me fa kwan we so e de atumani e central for mu nyina mo a e de atumani madam Lydia Donko ye hia no e die fe mo na mo fa no ye hia no wa ya asem le nsem o keka ye nyina no na forward me de gina we so am obi ati ye forward de ama IGP ono no waso asem no enu oye bibia efe asoma kokoshe adie mu a wakoshe aba menyu so ababa mama news adie yo efe mu anu so kramenti se maka bibia fa ewe mu asem achiba ya one na ma okokopie abusuafie hɔ ɔba wama mebusa yɛ ase wambɛka hwee ankyerɛ meteyɛ ɛna maa mefrɛ no wamfa ɛna mefrɛ general secretary ebusa me sɛ yɛ asɛm asi no waba no wabɛtwa yɛ ho kɔ ɔbaa ne fie a wokɔde asɛm na wokɔka ɔbaa no ɔdeɛ bɛɛ na ɔne gye afi hɔ ɛyɛ kɔtɔkɔ nti kɔtɔkɔ yɛne akɔ a yɛafrempɔn yi ɛyɛ yɛ supporter ɛna ɔgye akyire kɔɔyɛ ɛnti mobaeɛ a montee yɛ ano asɛm monkaa mu biribi a wasɛ akyire kɔ ɔbaa no hɔ no na deɛ na wokɔ akɔka deɛ na wokɔ akɔyɛ ɛno nkɔ nkyɛn maame babɛsen kɔɔyɛ ɔkɔkɔduru hɔ no wode nsuatɛmanfoɔ o sɛ wan na wo ne ɔma kɔhyia akɔ akɔkasa aka ibi mpo frɛpɔ ne ɛka so o wei ne wei wɔ hɔ ɛnti wobusa ne deɛ siiɛ wakɔ akɔtie saa kɔnkɔtɛ sɔre ɛwɔ hɔ deɛ ɔkaeɛ ɛnoa bi na nsuatɛmanfoɔ twerɛɛ nsuatɛmanfoɔ lɛta ɔmo twerɛ sɛ frempɔn no kɔɔyɛ kɔkɔ no mo nsa ɛwɔ outside na ɔde obi kɔkɔgya asɛm ɛne awɔ ne sekan wɔ hɔ ɛna ɔde fi wɔ ba bɛwu wɔ sɛ ɛyi hɔ no wakɔ akɔtie one sided story woba a wommusa biara na wode akɔsi tv so sɛ nipa no wanwu wɔ hɔ no wanwu wɔ hɔ deɛ nti na ɔkɔɔ ɛhɔ ewura mu hɔ nom no drinking bar bɛɛ na wɔ hɔ videos ɛbaa yɛ ɛɛmu na nye gate na no ɔda a ambulance car esi hɔ no wo ase tɛm biara ɔne nkurɔfoɔ okura stadium a yɛsɛkyew mebusa wo da bɛɛ na owó awura stadium ada wɔn ho sɛ yɛsɛkyew bi na de abɛsi sɛ te sɛ asɛm no ɛho nhia bi bɛde abɛsrɛ no mo nam de tum anim mo na mo fa no yɛnhia no wɔ yɛ asɛm biara mu fiti beginning maame wɔhyɛ sɛ ɔno wɔn pɛ kɔtɔkɔ asɛm yɛsɛ aboa ɔbɛnya a ɔbɛka wo ɛna ɔfɛn ne sɛkyerɛw ɛbaa yɛde nations asɛm baayɛ wodi video evidence ɛde asɛm no ɛkɔ court still yɛ supporters na wɔkɔ court every week biara and so apart from that nsɛm nneɛma bebrebe asi a ɛno kɔ wonyɛ ho hwee ebi kura kɔ akɔ to the sense sɛ obi aka wɔawo yɔnko police ni waka no a abɛto dwa nso wonyɛ ho hwee deɛ baa deɛ mo si mo di video evidence ɛna gyina so kɔɔ sɛ deɛ bronko na dɔkronko ɛdeɛ ɛna na maka kyerɛ wo no maame no yɛnyia no wɔ yɛ asɛm biara ɔmfa no ho ɔdi na ayi a ɔmfa no ho nyɛ no bi but mo ɔba kɔtɔkɔ asɛm biara mpɛ sɛ ɔbɛkɔmmɛnti wɔ yɛ asɛm biara bi yɛato no wɔ ɔba abɛsia sɛ yɛato yɛ no ɔhuhu ayi biara deɛ a yɛdeɛ ɛpɛ adeɛ yɛadeɛ ɛdi ho awerɛwɔ mede fa mo so na akɔ president hɔ na akɔ agp hɔ no sɛ yɛsɛ yɛdeɛ yɛhia no wɔ yɛ asɛm biara ahwehwɛ mu ɔkɔkɔ yɛɛyɛ menim sɛ agp na soma no sɛ wo na wo soma no menyɛ hwɛ sɛ agp na soma no a ɔsoma no sɛ ɔnsa mmra ɛnkɔtena radio so adeɛ a yɛakɔ mu wɔ nsɔkyɛma hɔ no yɛdeɛ ɛno na yɛde agu krataa so ɛde abrɛ mu no yɛsɛ yɛne ha se nyinaa na yɛatwerɛ ɛna ɛde ama mo yɛwɔ deɛ yɛhia ansa na yɛde ato no sɛ yɛbɛtoa league no so ɛna yɛde ato mu deɛ yɛrehwehwɛ in the interim so ansa na ɛneɛ na going for yɛhu sesei but security measures no deɛ ɛno deɛ mɛka si so bi ɔwɔ sɛ gffoɔ no na mofa sɛdeɛ mobɛfa wɔ sɛ coffers no aban na bɛtɛki kɛ wɔ sɛ ɛneɛ kwan bi a mobɛfa so biara saa security measures yɛde ato mu no policemen na bɛba ɛna security cameras a bɛwɔ hɔ deɛ ɛneɛ ɛnyɛ ɛntumi compromise ebi a bɛka sɛ kɔtɔkɔ ne house yɛyɛ hwan ɛne yɛbɛyɛ wei afa yɛdeɛ moka yɛagye yɛ ho ato yɛsɛ yɛyɛ kɔtɔkɔ yɛsɛ yɛyɛ house yɛsɛ momfa security measures wei anto ansa na league no yɛatoa so sɛ mofo sɛ momfa yɛnyɛ hwee na moabɛbɔ deɛ a so be it but yɛdeɛ yɛde to mu anim no yɛ next match a ɛyi yɛsa akɔ wankyi yɛnim deɛ yɛkɔsi wɔ hɔ sɛ nkurɔfoɔ mma ɛno nso obiara de nkurɔfoɔ mma ɛna wɔ hɔ wɔntumi nkɔyɛ saa na ɔkyena kɔ yɛde nkurɔfoɔ obi baa saa akɔ a kwakwa na ɛbɛdi akyi asɛm wɔ yɛsi a gffoɔ menhu consent dodoɔ bi a mɔhyɛ yi next time yɛkɔ match a kwamu na ɛbɛdi akyi akɔ yɛ letter yɛde atwerɛ yi yɛakɔpe sports minister ɛne asɛ no kɔpe so ama IG ntumi nyinaa no sɛ mofo sɛ still a mbɛkɔ so momfa yɛ asɛm onyɛ hwee na mbɛkɔ so a yɛdeɛ but you go make sure say saa measures yi deɛ wɔmfa to hɔ ansa na yɛatoa yɛn prepare yɛn ho ɛnkɔyɛ hwee sɛ next week yɛhyɛ aseɛ yɛyɛ sei yɛnta twɛn bie mu obi bie mu santɔ ansa na yɛakɔka bi nkwa no ehia sɛbi yɛde yɛafrempɔn deɛ ayɛ mpɛsɛ mɛyi so wɛ sacrifice ɛnso so saa na aba no yɛmfa no nyɛ biribi na yɛmfa nsakra nneɛma mu sɛ yɛbɛpere yɛn ho sɛ yɛbɛhyɛ aseɛ mfomsoɔ no de aba deɛ da yɛ anim no ɛna dɔɔso nti medaka president san woba yɛ nkyɛn mu deɛ afei a memebaa yɛ daka deɛ mehu sɛ mokoma class no mehu koraa ɛfisɛ ka wei baa yɛ mo koraa na wɔ sɛ modi kan ɛfisɛ mo na ɛyɛ mo dea gfa deɛ ɔno de organize matches mo na ɛyɛ mo dea mo koraa na wɔ sɛ aka modi kan mpo na mbɛgu sae so mokɔ yɛ deɛ na ɛsiiɛ ɛnso so yɛama nkae a ɛno koraa agp na frɛ ma ɛbaa me ne wohyia ɛna maame bɛyɛ sɛ yɛyɛ sɛ yɛba o ɛnti mesrɛ wode afei ne waba agp teeɛ sunday anadwo na mebɛdu kuma se ɛne ɔfrɛfrɛɛ ɛde sisɛi wɔmde kɔ he na ɛka sɛ yɛgya wɔ hɔ biribiaa ɔfrɛ yɛ make sure sɛ monday anɔpa ɔbɛma regional commanders ne ayi nyinaa ba chief esi adi ne gyina wei regional crime officer ono jama woti omo ba ya beti anwase ano omo sa na ekokwohwe kunafo ne maame ade achi IGP wan susu wa ogo akasa bai obetie de course ni bibia apart from so wasoma nkrofo direct to omo kade na ka FSA saka gaka mumu nkra be di kan kra yesi ansa na IGP po a ono wonche abe GF for the say de so mo fa yesu ba say de mo fa yesu mo fa mo ya mo mbo ya e ba tram say ya kotoko e has mo pesa mo be fire ho de ya e so be fire omo kase to hell with kotoko mo pesa ya mo kwanche na mo ya e be jam ya de security measures ni ya e ya to and ya ansa ni ato aso e kase bo no e mo bi e be bo body e bo say na ni china ya kra mo ya no ready kra na e be bo but until then e china ka tro say e ready mo ba no beti anu asem na masa frefre supporters for and say see rules for ya sa dream mo bi ma na say de makeka keka gu ye so no enu ana yeso de aka wo mo de nyame adum pass for aka omo de o mate ase ye nyina enim e agro de di ye no mo pa ye healthy rivalry ye no mo kra po etnasi omo kra po na di kan SNA solidarity message e de bai so omo tayechi bibia e koso bia omo tayechi ampampa so e ya wa ye kom e wo sa other clubs omo so kwa sa ya oni bia no mo di nyina mo ni atutu asem no nka ho e koso me nka se e sha sesese e sha se ache enso so edu obi so dia no makata so edu obi dia ene abi e re press conference you see what the protocol cite example I will make it sure your original office ebusi as one na file be against it na mo e din proper amode call your crap no omo amode omudi nko na bebre ni ko kwa ponsa amode ka ho that day one question enso so nyina amode ka ho your call your police for kai and yes ya the omo omudi omu ya beba fit sata no every week bia ni every other week bia your call ebusi my imagine say mo nje mu referee for crap mo ka ho to mo omo nyina ayese obi afa ne sanka enso so the akoso a ya buru obi o ti ko tia obi kra wo pa so kra po ene de mu hu se kotoko mo yinti amene de DCOP leader don ehia no e we ya asem dia mu odi ni security ehia onkoso now that license mo hwa ekwan a edi free junction ho e ho kran po nya so akere kro mu e anafo ekwan e free kwan na no e de ko ba bia e bobo nipa he kra na wo ekwan nyina nya mfutupan a ho nyina nya ansakra park no so kra po VIP for ene ada yi nyina tibo pitch no so de eno de enya de grandpa o kakra ye said the inter schools kra o ka so bo o kra money enso that club license for agia to ne akwa kobo security officers e ba yeso a o mo nyina ina perfect for me hu concern do bi amosho next time you come match am na be di echi abo ye letter ye dey actually ya copy sports minister ene asene copy so ma IG enti ni nyina no so for still am bokoso mo mfa ya se mo nya hwe na mbokoso a but you go make sure say na measures here one fan to answer na to ya prepare ho enko ye hwe say next week ye sha se ye say then time be mu bi mu santo answer na akoka bi
football no dey aro se pass e ko dia gro no bi ko bi sika so so na say ya branch no ya sheda say ye ko won sika so hwe mu bi e wo say ye bi ani na obi antimi mfa to mi insurance John Nkukumi. So, John, training it's a dear. Was a mayor, my next peer fast by the young person. The betty and the permanent so won't me yet. Oh, my own. John, I football will be Conako, Jina, the second one. Did you ban a pro war weapon the young who's out and ready? Was it? John, if it only a pro, I was here in an energy. Say, see, studio, say, about to work on Nipa. John, football, so now, with the PA. A child be ban my brain, but we are calling him my brain. John, be a fast be a mere catacata, so and coffee me and Chunia, Pony was at the dating or queers. John, never running it now. It is a idiomus up and a referee people, no sooner consume morning common on yet. So, on a month of one, I can say the opponent will be overbearing, and yet Kotoko and I be overbearing be a body in Orion. As a reference of people, penny, with so good to Posada. Say, has a may change my house and she has it for you here. Into a barbarian answer, or Shepran way. Never did. So, never one. Nina, no, I'm sure, said the Bussia. five of one year the achievement from one year doing money and going breakfast. And also as a football, I am on my career. A bit to a bunch of homework and I'm to as him come myself. Joe, it is a system. Joe, and the Mungo Pumps again. Yes, the system are again. You know, she can do one year at the near to so we in the year, Bema, Ghana, so as a sportsman, I didn't come over Papa. If you are in new as a politics, and I say you differs, you are really black star for every. I have a bunch of black stars from my own queen. So, you know, grass, so, then more Bianco for player, for technical people, Papa, no player, Papa. Oh, yes, I'm near player, Papa, or the no be added player, but to say my guy to them, meaning player, be as a more chicken or Bonqua. Mo be a fool, be a master, my own cobo, not any Sana, get my name. So, yes, she and I need Naira. The core say, and move baby, and near charity.
Right, enti ye konkrofon kroso na afi Jumedie no atwaso edi amamu ye see from Fisem ebe twaso live on Promise 102.7 megahertz. Show no air live our Facebook page ne so Promise Radio 102.7 and afi Promise TV on Facebook. Champions League matches eba so na me de hunsem no ebe bremo Jumedie so na mom mamen fantuja SN the disciplinary committee must punish football Michelle Liga on the decision area Barbonten na Jude Bellingham also nano ada onya red card wa bra Osasuna and Madrid game no etoja ni yani se referee ojira sa game nim ese Jude Bellingham akache no ese on fuck it off MOE red card ede channel referee in the report ede koi ema Madrid and so the omodi eko na Madrid defense no tieniye Madrid at the video of Cristiano Ronaldo interview bi Ronaldo di tuja ese fuck off no ukwa England normal and say Jude Bellingham of free England or Bobo Spain now Abeka fuck off and the chair referee asanka we de nka and said anya sembia omodi come defense so and the koenamom yes this disciplinary committee no Akache Madrid say omuni footage omuni video evidence ese Jude Bellingham Akache referee say fuck off now omudie eba ne sa no referee no reporter or the buy or see Jude edi dinner time say fuck you no na omugina so edi suspension no edi abanti 2 games Jude Bellingham entimi siakan emfa ema Madrid ewo La Liga ni mu na Madrid ya tuja ese wo mu be appeal sa 2 games suspension no ni nyina ne se omugidi se we the decision this plan committee na take enya ne kwan so ano no enti 2 game suspension and Jude Bellingham ewo red card odi wa bra na Madrid ene Osasuna ebo eno eho ensem no Ademola Lookman and so onsanra omu game ne ba na wi am check club brooch any Atalanta club brooch Atalanta kamiensa emo omu team ba ko no Ademola Lookman ni coach Gian Piero Gasperini ebe twi ya no ho papa sa kwawe penalty was papa na ni team nim kra no training grounds or tam penalty ni to obona number bi 10 wawa say no na omuda form 3-1 just one be tika nya penalty Matteo Retegu ejina bench oso na abebo ko ball penalty say no ma coach twi player yo sa na Ademola Lookman edit statement about until say statement to head in mano nemo and some na coach ni kan no or say disrespectful and more no player no ni nyane say sane ma bi say no and can a collective blame I also munyina take every say omo win together nobody say no men come across say penalty na o single me out na twimanim sa enti player no e dey to just say coach ni comment very disrespectful at the manner hope say e be SOC be no Demola Lukman ni statement or the ababonte for Gian Piero Gasparini commenter wano ede corner so abra no da womo elusu to a club bridge eno ehun semwa ye de ebam eno no Lamine Yamal eni Mundo Deportivo edin komo pi na Lamine Yamal ya tuja ose Madrid for no mu complaining referees no omo nya botre na Lamine Yamal say Copa del Rey no referee say favor Madrid papa na mo de mo kono Osasuna ba kubi kosina red card amontia say ya Lama say Lamine Yamal was say in the Copa del Rey the referees favored Madrid and then against Osasuna they say that they are going against them osemasa adene koye mamwa munka ankoya number de munka so ni na say referee very difficult. Now, Usha be also taking decision in a split second. No mistake. A Koya Madrid for and so first answer. No, Lamine Yamal say we dey omo chimododo we dey also omo chuchaso. And no, Samuel boy no and so ready to ja. Mami breaking from us bossa. One sporting director. Deco and we say Jules Conde. Ni agent amo henimu esen komo twetwen bekoso na Jules Conde ni contract Barcelona etumi extende ede amano ewo ho a ye de eno so ewo nsam no ede ba ewo dwumadie no eso na coach ani di enso ede Fabio Conceição ewo se ono Milan wo manager na de tell say another Theo Hernandez the red card audi and a coach ni pa na coach no area atuja say against Torino bia na wa boy no ambo on say next game AC Milan no against Torino we Italian Serie A ni mu na o se o hwe ni options we left back position o ni na ne say enya ade a o Theo Hernandez boy bia ebetumi aboa no tentino coach no so he Davide Bartesaghi ebia obemana bo and also Ramuso yes Alex Jimenez and so hobina fe Filippo Terraciano when the players abako ebe replace Theo Hernandez wabra weekend Italian Serie A game and also etoja ayede honsam no eje emamo ewo dwumadie no so uko Inter Milan players miensa contract be 2026 yes players ni nya happy ama Inter asase edin komo sese Kobani Saadi and Jano Bejamo Henrik Mkhitaryan Afe player anything Eddie Matteo Damien and Afe Achebi Francesco Achebi one more players are yes one happy too happy Inter Milana and also Aaron Samoba Inter away options are and some Bejoma Makwana say on the moment to Aswesia Kai Eddie Ama Bobo Kone Chelsea Akache Juve say Renato Vega Modi aloni amulo so mu permanent 30 million euros in the summer and ombetia na omo atime na play and permanently na mom yesi Juventus akache Chelsea so anka omo new loan deal nanka fe 2026 obligation to buy na nkomo de ashem ama Chelsea akache om say there be sad deal no enya dia ebebo omo Chelsea enso hono me no Samuel Toja and Renato Vega ne loan deal our Jerem enso Juventus womo eboboko no e de honsam no e de amamo 4 games and Toja and there UEFA Champions League ni mo Dortmund and Sporting CP and ebo UEFA Champions League ni mo afa PSV and Juventus ebo PSG ebo Stade Brest na fe Madrid and so abo Manchester City and so no said the games no eba so ene ayede ewonsam no ede emamo ewo jumadi ne so na unse game edikan etoja no BVB Borussia Dortmund and Sporting CP lineups no I ready nti Joe de njawe no wo so ho na fe yenhwe lineups no quickly na yewia ye de nsem no esi ewo Dortmund woman fam no na home team goalkeeper Gregor Kobel defense no player one also the team Reason Emre Can Nico Slotterbeck one so gyina akyire obi ɛna afei player yɛ frɛ no David Stevenson one ɛbɔ Marcel Sabitzer, Pascal Gross, Karim Adeyemi, Julian Brandt, afei Jonas Gittins ɛne Serhou Guirassy one more bɔ ɛde ama Borussia Dortmund 4-2-3-1 ɛna coach ɛnso ɛde ma Borussia Dortmund Niko Kovac one boy de tia Sporting CP Ukro Sporting CP afemu a mebacho one so ɛbɔ 4-2-3-1 ɛne ɛne de ampaye bedwa o ne nyina ne sɛ Sporting CP for no one so ɔmo ɛne abre Rafael Silva goalkeeper one ɛdemo ɛde ɛma Sporting CP Osman Diamonde gyina akyire bi Goncalo Ignacio ɛwɔ hɔ Matthias Reis Bobby and a player ni di enso de charisma one so gyina mo Matthias Holman afa Jonas Simons Giovanni Quenda player ni din Renato Esgao and afa Jonas Biel and player ni di de Harda one early di attack Edema Sporting CP ewo game and also to Jaway confirmed lineups at Borussia Dortmund and it faces Sporting CP. On that note, yede ayan crofon croson semno is still live our promise 102.7 live on Facebook, Promise Radio 102.7 and after Promise TV on Facebook, Promise Television, Digital Terrestrial. Channel so ubehuye so na watch show no ebi Clementino the darling boy e crowd of fisem etwaso ede amamo
Promise.
Welcome to 102.7 FM.
Well, jibo yewem ewo emrase bedwafie na ya wakasa bi so bibi wa gonu mu a ya na yentimi nyiwa yipamu ena enkomo pi na ekoso enam se yenua Honorable Tres Stuttgart, Kobracha Samana Mekan, yes, Brekum West MP, one of Ankazan Central Jumain, Waya from Sunyane to Kumase, Osakoye, BA United, CEO, and one and a move motion, na Osha Moshna, Umuvu Yanua, not just make a statement, say, and Nam says to Trasamua, to Gaduana, where your stadium, I would want a idea Hadri pa, now to also as cited, the Nanu is here. Between Inswatraman and Kotokoyentie, dear ono move motion. Honorable Tres Stuttgart,
I make this statement as a result of the rising acts of vandalisms, acts of hooliganisms at our various game centers, and specifically in relation to the 19th week Premier League match played on the 2nd of February 2025, which resulted in the brutal stabbing of a Kotoko fan, Nana Yao Frimpong, known as Pule. Mr. Speaker, football is a sport that unites us as a people. It is a game of passion. It brings joy to millions of people across our nation. However, when that passion is tainted by violence, it ceases to be the beautiful game we all love. The events that unfolded before, during, and after that Premier League game are not only despicable, but a stain on the integrity of Ghanaian football and on our national character. Honorable Speaker, the tragic loss of life is not an isolated case, but a part of worrying trend of violence in our sports. About 24 years ago, Mr. Speaker, as a young sports journalist myself, working at the Radio Windy Bay, I was in Accra Sports Stadium on that fateful day on the 9th of May 2001 to cover Kumasi Asante Kotoko Accra Hasofo Premier League game match. On that fateful day, Ghana recorded the most tragic event in this history when 127 lives were lost as a result of football violence. Mr. Speaker, in the wake of this national calamity, the then President of the Republic, His Excellency John Adjekum Kufuor, constituted a commission of inquiry, that's CI-34, to investigate the matter and make appropriate recommendations. Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding the far-reaching recommendations made to forestall future occurrences, football violence continues to plague outraged the nation. Mr. Speaker, for example, Ghana were left dumbfounded when one of its topmost female referees, Teresa Bremensu, who was officiating in the 2019 Women Special Competition between Prisons and Ampindakwa ladies, was beaten to pulp by the fans for what they claimed she failing to add extra time after the 90 minutes elapsed. Again in 2020, Mr. Speaker, we are aware of a Kotoko fan, Augustine Opon, who was shot in the eye when violence broke in the game against Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Bekum Chelsea. Also, just 2 years ago, my very good friend Edwin Aka, the general manager of Samatex FC, and other officials and players of Samatex FC were brutally assaulted in a Division 1 League match in Daboase in the game against Sky FC. Honorable Speaker, despite all the education, reminders, sensitizations, sanctions aimed at eradicating hooliganism, the act continues to be part of Ghanaian game with many casualties frequently recorded. Mr. Speaker, the situation calls for urgent action from all stakeholders. We as parliamentarians have roles to play: government, football officials, security agencies, clubs, and supporters. There is an urgent need.
Wutiam komonwa na chasa Brekum West MP Honorable Trust to God when you day ewa gudi ni mono ena peja ansano ba ya baby asisi nyina no wasati ye enkomono atwetwe Boga Central MP Edni Bewurem Honorable Isaac Adongo na nkasem no order right Honorable Aseno na okomende Stuga so de nkomo ya ba na utie akuo ni mu a wose enne kotoko na atu ninti ena ye kase atutu bebre ya yanhwe ha.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I want to commend the maker of the statement. Mr. Speaker, football is the passion of this country, but this is just one too many. Today we are discussing this unfortunate situation because it involves Asante Kotoko. But there have been a series of such events in our country where supporters think that when they disagree, they must take the law into their hands. And this should bring finality to such incidents in our football. Nobody should die following your passion. I understand the man left behind 6 children. This is a very, very difficult situation for his family. And Mr. Speaker, I think that we need to take football a lot more serious. The rules of football is not just the rules on the field. Mr. Speaker, what are the protocols for making a football field fit for purpose? Not everywhere is fit for purpose. What we are playing football on are what we call parks. They don't qualify to hold soccer matches. We must take the licensing of stadia very, very important, so that we'll tick all the boxes to ensure that when people go to a stadia or go to a football field, that football field is fit for purpose. So we must begin to license our football fields. And when we begin to do, you realize that many places such as Infantryman will not qualify to host football matches, let alone for us to die the way we are dying. Mr. Speaker, I was very sad to hear my colleague mention that they were struggling to get very simple first aid. You don't have ambulances. You have no business playing football in such a field. That is a death trap. But we go there and nothing happens, so we think that is a football field. No. What was the police situation at the football field? Where were the police? What was the requirement of security that was supposed to be upheld in the stadium? In this particular instance, the information we have is that this young man had been threatened prior to the match, and that the security agencies should have known that what happened to the young man could happen, because he is accused of having made comments that did not go down well with the other club ahead of the match, and he was threatened. And yet we allowed the football match to happen without security to protect this young man. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like to call on you to direct the Ministry of Sports to take this matter very seriously. And that if the GFA cannot follow rigorous protocols for licensing our football stadia, we should not be playing football as a country, because football is a serious business and it's about life. And whether you like it or not, some people are going to be dissatisfied and may take the law into their hands. Whether you like it or not, if you do not license stadia, you are going to have football fields that will play on that don't even have ambulances, where the protocol may require you to bring over 40 policemen. You are right there and only 2 policemen are there guiding and protecting scores or spectators. The end result is that people die needlessly. We mustn't die following the passion of football. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like to call on this House to take on the GFA to properly make sure that before football returns, we are prepared in all respects and that our football fields are fit for purpose. Currently, what we call football fields are just parks. They are just like we're doing in our area, where you just call neighbors across the road and you are playing football. That is what is happening. And we cannot be doing that for people to die needlessly. So, Mr. Speaker, I commend the maker of the statement, and I thank you for indulging me, except to say that this mustn't end with a talk show. We must see some action being taken to sanitize football in our country and to make sure that our football fields are safe for purpose. That we will not hear this conversation again anytime soon.
MP for Boko Central, Honorable Isaac Adongo, wakom papati. Kobrache move by no Boga Central. MP so edene de abeto aso. Ye ku anim emrahye bedafie wona.
O kan sem bi ti no minim se wadwene ba ho a.
De hina.
O se o he park e bobobo so a. On the friend park one friend stadium. O se ete se kanen no ane e bobobo mantem bo no. Aha park ane e bobobo tun sa na tie. Na nkobe hye se nka mrahye bi o hye se mrahye bedafie. Asema o mo kankansi ba bi o mo kan no na.
Enye talk show keke.
Na omon frɛ efefo no na omon mra so omon ntimi mfa football mra nya adwuma emie mo ball wo park papa so de a league no ehia se yabo biem eno ne asema ye nyina ye ka no
ena aso be simi book no so se be wie gibo so kan sa kwani no da ho na wo frɛ no bodi magaso ma
na ye tie ya
ye busa za ka se ye ntimi ton san frɛ every president ho
eno na ye start show na meken ye tie ya ka sei solo ene tino de odi animu on e kire kwan ana meboa ye yu adu si ade ano se wo ne panyina oda ano a wo ne kwan kirefo ye ti ha ne ya ye kasai every president team dream FC ne stadium continue bo so akotu bo ho akotu bo ho Ghana nkwa ne oman a bo wo ye nyina etu bi we fie ene ne be na nsakura metubu o me ho ni atena we say $5,000 for one ball
e kire din bi ankasa
ye from ye ball Ghana bi aka na no atum
ma shebe je fe do ntim ko ka won ntum hwe
e say ye tu ball hold ye pitch ye na ball hold na ba na ye pitch na say more than the na ball hold no kura ni ho asem what bi da nti parliamentarians no omon from
yes
so omom pene emie mobo e wo park a te se ayi ba me te se oyi ba ko so no abo a ayi onabo ayi ayarga me te ne de so ba ko do bo wie be ka ho asem me tu do bo wie a ye be ka ho asem apoto bibre wo da ho so mi be penti wa ya be de no apenti tino yenko
ye gusu ku yanim ye da so gina mra hye badafie na after say the move motion by no Bekum West MP Honorable Kobrache Stuttgart and Amoterenka and MP for Boga Central Honorable Isaac Adongo Edina Mutire Sisia na yakoyanim Honorable Sami Ewuku MP for Ekuapim North and also Honorable Asie na obo Kobrache Stuttgart so kofa semi aba ne de o make sure say o de be fa officiating kakra.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I rise to contribute to the statement made by the Honorable Member of Parliament for Bekum West. So, Speaker, let me also, first of all, extend deepest condolences to the bereaved family and to the deceased. So, Speaker, there are four things that excite passion and inflames passion within our society. These four things for me: 1, football; 2, religion; 3, ethnic issues; and also 4, political issues. What is before us today is association football. Right, Honorable Speaker, in contributing to the statement made by the Honorable colleague Member of Parliament, I would also like us to also situate the matter. You cannot separate these acts of vandalism, hooliganism, and riotous behavior of fans also from sometimes poor officiating. If we cast our mind back to many of the issues around the world, anytime you have these huge disagreements among fans, at the heart of it has been a refereeing decision one way or the other. I would like us to also get the Referees Association of Ghana and the Football Administration to also pay keen attention to sometimes bad officiating or questionable officiating. I'm saying this because in today's football world, it's no longer what it used to be under the good days of Wilberforce Infum, the Golden Boy Abdul Razak and co, where football was played just to excite people or to entertain people. This time around, it's become a very commercial venture. And people get into these stands knowing very well and working out the odds on what they intend to achieve at the end of the day. I believe these acts of hooliganism are despicable, and it is about time that we don't just pay lip service to these matters when they are raised, but also get the law enforcement agencies to also enforce the laws. One of the main issues that for me continue to also agitate my mind has to do with the issue of citing drinking spots and beer bars around these stadia and sports facilities. One, you cannot enter the stadium with alcohol, but the people just take it before entering. So they enter, and the time that they reach that peak, that is when the match is also at its height. So one, we also have to be clear on the modalities and the guidelines and what we can also have around the various sporting facilities. Today we have a colleague down that I'm an unrepentant fan of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, but I also believe that in helping protect lives within the various precincts of our sports facilities, we have to look at the very things that are cited around it. Yes, you can have food joints, but the citing of sometimes some of these drinking bars is also a disturbance. Number two has to do with also enhanced security within the stadium. In the various stands, apart from having people who are wearing security badges and uniforms, you can also have plainclothes security. And that is what many of these countries are using within their stadiums. Mr. Speaker, football is the passion of the nation. Whenever you even have even small teams playing within our communities, you can see that tension is always high. How much more when it has to do with league standings and the position of these teams on the various league tables. So once I commend my colleague, I would like, Mr. Speaker, with your kind direction, get the sports minister to also pay keen attention, one, to the issue of security, issues of officiating and refereeing, and third issue has to do with the siting of these drinking bars around the various stadiums.
Member Miansano Ekasawi no na I was say atwetwe ma no nso bewuram Honorable Millicent Amankwaye MP for Sunyani West wono so Edna no ebetu mu na ne nkomo ni nyina no ene sese monita anyema yi a kansese sade we kura no itimi esie.
On the situation of an unfortunate situation that happened in Nsuache with the match between the Kotoko and Nsuache Man. It happened in Nsuache, which is my constituency. I would like to extend my condolence to the entire family of the deceased. Mr. Speaker, on this note, we need to be very much careful and put in better and proper measures when there is match like this, because we have different supporters with different views and excitement. People come out and communicate or express their excitement in a different way. And so with this unfortunate situation happening in my constituency, which I believe it shouldn't happen in any constituency, the entire sports ministries and heads or owners and management of football clubs should take this serious and make sure that these things do not happen again. And on that note, Mr. Speaker, I believe that we should have a risk assessment before any match takes place, because we need to make sure that the park or wherever they are having this football games are well kept. We have CCTV cameras in case of emergency. We have proper security personnel. Even in addition of these military personnel can be added to it. Mr. Speaker, I believe that if much concentration and monitorization is put in place, we monitor the situation well, I don't believe that these things would happen. When this issue happened in my constituency, it called a lot of emergency, because if you look at where the ambulance service is in Nsuache, they went far. We couldn't even get an ambulance at this particular situation. And it's rather unfortunate that my good brother, my father, the former MP for Sunyani West, I was really worried because he's a senior colleague of mine, and I share with him at this particular situation, and I wish him well, because it can happen to anybody. And I pray that if measures are kept well and put in place, all these matters will will reduce. Mr. Speaker, we need to make sure we have first aid in situations and places like this so that measures can be taken as early as possible. Because looking at the supporter of Kotoko, it means that if they had first aid available, we could have found a way to save him as early as possible. Again, Mr. Speaker, I would like to plead with the entire security and medical professionals, as I earlier on made, to have an emergency plan with a sports team in case there's such situation happens, so that we'll be able to help save lives and educate our fans in matters and how they should be jubilating when issues happen. And even the terrain that supporters need to, if they are ticketing that we're supposed to give to them, and monitor the number so they will not have a stampede at the park or the stadium, I think it will go a long way to help us.
Yankoyanim na yadway and a baby word, na esi Emrashe Bedjafie, and no dear, and Nemum, majority leader, Honorable Mahama Yarga, and Ate Hokakra, Eddie Archer, we are singing as yes, we know a sports and recreation minister, Kofi Adams, Honorable. Egusu ye juma den hwanimu se that be ano obetimi atwetwe super sport ene other broadcast holders ni bi na omaba abede ene omhodin na no abeyi league no me ahwebie yentie de ode etudwa.
The minister is already holding meetings with the media to see how we can project sports. Indeed, he has revealed to me that he is looking to negotiate for super sports and others to begin to cover our local leagues. Because, Mr. Speaker, when the local leagues are covered by super sports, what it means is that people sitting in South Africa can see our boys playing, our boys and girls playing. And from South Africa, they can begin to identify and come and scout for those people. So the footballers themselves, when they see that their tournaments are covered on super sports, they know that a platform, a global platform is being provided them to showcase their skills so that scouts all over the world can view and then come and try and then recruit them to their various countries. And also that he is going to invest and get support and sponsorship for the various teams in the regions so they can have good coaches, they can have support to be able to compete effectively, train and recruit and retain very good footballers, buy very good players, and then also up the quality of our local league so that people will really like to go and watch our leagues instead of wanting to sit at home and watch the European leagues.
Good. Yamra na yam 5 for the NBM bi Emra Emewie na Prosper Harrison Ado and a general secretary for the FA and I say na monto bia omutu so football be kan pa bom no omugusu tu nanso ya na nipesu
are all steps in the process. Key among them is also human behavior. Indeed, if I go to the park and you go to the park and we follow the rules and we are each brother's keeper and we are friendly with each other as football demands, because football is supposed to bring us together. Today you will win, tomorrow somebody else will win. If in football only one team is guaranteed to win forever, I don't think we will love the sports. We like the sports because we know on the rare occasion the underdog will beat the tough guy, and we know there are times that the big team or the team with all the stars may try to win, but the underdog can pull up a draw.
Referees chairman George Seja and the two guys as will be any referees now, so no referees no poor decision at the piano a contract to Trasimi at the back.
Is it only referee that contributes to poor the hooliganism? No. Whoever said that, if I say I'll buy that as one of the issues, that will not be very some. If you say some, I will agree with you because you will not have the type of outstanding performance from all the referees. That's the first thing you should take note of. If you say factors, there are so many factors to that particular effect. It's like an octopus with so many limbs. Hooliganism is not only about referee, poor performance of referees. I know some of our members have not lived up to expectation, and that is why we talk about constant training. When we have constant training, etc., we week in, week out, you will not have minimum. Even though there may be some challenges, but you have minimum. But that doesn't mean that if there's hooliganism, you take it upon yourself. Say that is not part of the issue. That is immaterial. You don't need to do that.
Head of competition Julius Ben Emina wakasa nanso Jibo yemfa we emewi achira yebeko enoso kotoko supporters no decide say umurom ewantoa ne omonso ene nananom e de asem na koja wo mu nanso muwura ho wiei no na se meetings bi koso amugo so ehwesa nwumrei ombetumi akwa kotoko youth team no omo started division 3 no mabo 2 matches omo win nyina achina omo wo match ewo alignment so for alignment and also any ni betumi atudwa na chese enhye no Jibo yenyina so na yemfamesi wo ho.
All right, young call line so quick na yen Honorable Isaac Adongo enko twetwe nkomo ewo he's the MP for Bolga Central and our parliament it was all about Ghana Football Association, Ghana Football, Ghana Premier League. And a lot of argument na a raise call. Young Connie and Honorable enko din nkomo. Honorable, good evening and welcome to Promise TV, Promise FM. Honorable, I'm about Promise TV and Promise FM. So, okay, I think so.
Hello.
Okay, yes, and then
Honorable.
Okay.
Let's
go back. Jibo, there were a lot of arguments for Parliament and yes. Enjoy.
Honorable line Honorable, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, Honorable, you're more about Promise TV and Promise FM, so an enumerator.
Yeah, me just so na me channel here for you.
Okay. Honorable, Kumasi dear Oba in Koma di Edifa Ghana Premier League Nina Asante Koroko Chitenia BBC Emma and question nkwa ewo insuatrenene. Yeah, monitor proceedings of Parliament and you was honorable. Why raise the issue in what can SMP and you see anyway boss na ya started any wedding. Come on about this assemno. If I could coach any no free mono. What was your first reaction to the issue?
Yo, me say me can say me busiana yako that football there obi ani say kromwa eno an de gini. Nti se ko ba ne se obi edi na nike ti na wansa mafia na akwaya asefem na em se o man nankasa no emre bi etwemu me knife ye hwe nkofo bebre e wa nkofama so akra na ye dwen senke be sua bibi kakra fremu but me sha yamfa no anya adisha nti no ade ekosi ya to chem to ye nwe ya ye di ho aboboye akoye se team kakaka bia e fere se kotoko e ka hono nti na abeda ne nkomo na saade no ye suban ya ye yi no ko ya da ne do ko mu amuda da nsu ye bu ani paso
okay
obeti ne se team we any team we akosia ma ba ko se won te no ho ase na ya mo supporters a na ya kwachi referee abono obtimi hwe kwa na referee edi cap baby agene nkwa eni na semfata nti ekoba se afide akwa kopim se ya ngasa no ye kuye ho ewa gotomaso no na ya dia ya sefem nti ene menua number ko ede nsem no bedan ye parliament na bobo no na meka se se ye hwe na ye CCA ye Premier League no na se na be ya obi ye ne se okobo kwakohwebo na afi ye hwe nanim se obebe fia na nkomo ye de bre fi no na enya asem papa ti eno nkomo na ye di no ne anope or parliament.
Okay, now honorable, moving forward, sir atorenche me see a kwamba so na ususu se ene nyoma be na ho se edi gu akwam a ebetimi aboa emma ebiemu nsensibio
ne edikan no GFA na nkasa no se omode omumra no eye adwuma sansem we no ebesia no bebre every say ohwe amanse omo atwa won hia omode bo aye adwuma kase hona ye fa de boy bra na yenye sika kakra free ho na ye magunu bebra ho nye adwuma ye no omutimi fa ho adwitwa bi ho no ye de ihye bebre gu kwan mu a FIFA ne na se for agiatum.
Okay.
Ultimi sori prekope enkojina bo pramaso embobo. Se baby a ye friend na go pramaso a ye kwaji ye ni no. Se e won hihye ya team bia so disa hihye no so.
Okay.
Na se o tin hihye no so na ebie player ya makwan na o de ho no edi se adwuma. Ebi ni se ye obi dey friend licensing. Stadium bia say omoje license ansa na obeje license no ye behwe say nhihye bebre abema say adwumadie na ye kodi no emfa to ye ntemuma ye de eye adwuma ho ebi say match ye bobo match emfa say na nsa na match no say match officials ye timi ko National Sports Council timi ko stadium ho ko say stadium ho no nhihye te say ye waja jana bia enkofo ba ho metimi ahwe omo ye wo ambulance ye functional ambulance sada no ye de adwuma amana yeyi na parameter na nkasa no omo hwe ball no so omo ye ne so omo nti omo ho ase a omo betimi atesi park ni mu ana ana ya ball park no ho ban players no supporters no insusuan da on tem ansana ya rese markings ne sa no mani na ye di be adwuma no ewie peye ansana ya makwan se sa park no obetimi abobo so amana yeye
okay
na dana nkasa kra na ye bobo no ye ntwen na ya baho emre a ya kire se ye mehe ball ye mawu no ye be ball bia 3-4 hours na ye kura checklist we e wona kwem we wona kwem security te saying ye security assessment wo area na ye be here post for be saying bambo for be saying and ye be here was stadium yi na ye do ma ba mo ma gina baby e so mo gina no mo bo omo be here ball no aban na ansana footballers ni referee at TSC Park
okay
na we dey eno anze ye duru ali at TSC Park ena no kwa ye ti ye kwa no na ye nwan nko kire na esenka ambulance ho eben ho a ye betimi edi atwitwaji papa yi ambulance ko abi ni na ye de netimi bobo ho ma na ye ana amu nim se boy ye timi bobo ma nipa no footballer na kra obi afan sanka na otimi enya bibia betimi ama no ho aka no kakra be hia se ambulance betimi di na ko be bia na ne se place 22 na mo bobo ne any reserve place ni na no ye risk wo ye mo ban eno anzo mo ku park no so bi fenti sesia ye de ne to taxi mo na de mu ne de to nti ye se emra ya sise ye di adwuma no ye ma ye ni ekoho se na ebe ya bambo bi be wo agofama no so na so bi akọ na ọkọ ya ordinary je akofi emye dan ya ebia referee nipa baako ade a wo hunu nipa a omuku park no bebre hu chen no ebia ogina eni bebi a asem no si ye no wan hu ni ye nanso enimo ya so de na adwen ye adwuma ebia na sa adwen na ode kwen adwuma no eni amoa enti se ko ba na sa bentim ho ase ba mu a bambo ben ye wa ye betumi aboro be no ban any players no so ban any supporters are omoye so omo mpene be da ba omo ban o hwe boy ye ko nya ato nchem ya
honorable
na bibi de prefer say sa asem esi ye betumi esi
okay
every say me hu ni fra mum say mi nui e ba bontin e be e de chopa e ma sojamafo say wo kan bibi a anto makumam nti omo fa ne bon nche no nti na wo ese hu se pomo na ye ko no e bia bi be ja to bi so nyetu eye de na etimi ko bobo a ye moban na police force na opako na je se negligence pa ne de ku akwa yo nti GF ne National Sports Council omo bi che aka nti nye se ye ka ne tre keke na ya sa twen 10 years, 5 years. No, just uncle. Na yɛ sɛ di san kɔmɔ dabi ɛsɛ ɛtwe nkɔfo aso na ɔmo sɛ yɛde adwuma wɔ ɛhyɛ wo nsa a woanhwɛ so yie a wobɛtumi agye obi nkwa na fanyɛ adwuma sɛneɛ fata na Ghana football nankasa no beebi a akɔgyina no yɛsi a mesɔre a ntina Saturday Sunday menya me TV bi na menya me kɔna bi tra na mehwɛ me Chelsea no mo sɔre a ne modwa sɛ yɛnkɔhwɛ Ghana football menkɔ na menkɔkam
Nese ono mutie unkomo ya uyo obi a wani di Ghana we wani di boy tipa na emom enioma a omunye ni ye ti se security
omunye ni ye ni ntina je yenkola abrem sei na obia testa kotoko ne hasa ne nani de kire me nkola abrem nyini obuase kama mi papa enkotu batako obuase ye me koye no me di be enfie du ne mienu any of them call Golfers Academy. I was shot on me ball.
Okay.
And this time Kwana link claim by. Oh. Obiti says Stanley Laboratory protocol under 20 and a bar. Then Golfers Abe Ashanti goes. Namina Mikurani boots our dance my hotel. He quadrable so they could train.
Okay.
Into football near the woman. Into Adia may yet the Jimmy on Saturday, Sunday, or Remo baby. Na me she baby a yehwe ball so dey yehwe no stadium nje to bi kora na me yere kasa say na boy say DSTV e bi sufie o buza say football yehwe no dem yehwe no stadium stadium ni say me o ma dwen no bi so won na dwen na ya keke bi atre ho na waje ba kwasi wani eno di football
yeah
ye de ji ani ye mbase ye ba be kuntokwa na edidi atem
yeah
campaign say ye ku obi kora sa fa ho enti Italian 91 time neba sere na Ghana football page na ho so sezi a Ghana football who say obi a say yembo prayer papa ba bia di mu a obi a otimi mo obi ancho eno an say party uyi party free mu a bia kudus nyo kan nyina akubusa team bia oba ati say the ebon fichire boy ya on na mai Kuwait also yebobo Lithuania na sefo.
Okay.
Nti amaye football na kitire. Sa no man kiti ana ama football na nkasa na engineer attract sponsorship. Na why not the sponsorship aba to football mu a yekuni bo.
Wow. Now honorable Sunday when it ball we and issue be to the floor of parliament who's a lot of parliamentarians were interest with me. Parliament, what is the next step I'm taking to help revive Ghana football and the Ghana Premier League? Send ye bet me as I go back instead of foreign football. Bet me as I back to our local game.
Nyamincha and Minister for Sports no or Parliament and Uncle any say statement he make here or no so the Nigeria beba. But Koba say. Minu sorry so this uncommon to Jano na wa bese co-ministry every say na Minister of Finance aba say won define the budget you want me entry
okay
but he speaker no Twegwem no ka say your first statement no emano na onhwe kwan a ode ebefa so say be Ghana football ebefa ne tuma penfra na that cry as well in a drew on also no His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Eka Bibi said on started research not from GFA.
Okay.
And you know Emma Nadine Eco Bar Sassim was in TV. Minim say any day the statement by Maruna Obetuana Monso I found say by ye na ebetia kwakọ football na ye niaje. Say local football edi emua. Almost a Black Star no so
yeah.
The only time yeni MPP yeni NDC and it's a Black Star say bobo or modinku. And I
honorable Sapepe
Black Star bobo koya maya yedinku nimbiano. Obia ni MPP ni NDC asem. Na tension ni pressure wokuru no aperform.
Yeah.
Nti ye say football no be kwaswa amaya yeni ade na ede nkabom abremai na Ghana etime 2 pon
Honorable, you're free Ghana League. Me and you discuss Ghana football. The AFCON I by enemy, unfortunately, Ghana and Timian qualify. Never World Cup in 2026 as US, Canada, Mexico. There, Nipa be brave share him say the Blast Stars of Ghana beat me qualify. Now, Honorable, she said, Sana.
Sa komo ana ni diemede. Yo football coach bia de ba kwa usuro na wiase a ne say ye bepa mo free club. Say ye di team a sha wonsa ma momodin a ye bepa. Na nipa na say team no mempe wo de na ade atofo ko. Na wasa akofa na ba hu be na wonu.
Na say onsuro pamu bia biem.
Onsuro he wo ye na adwen say team no mpe na akofa na ba. Inti ye be sha say yempe coacha Ghana dana kuma so a wonim say ye kobo match ni lusu ba ku mienu a pressure be ba na wa me apam. Na oto ado ye odwuma na owie na so wonpe. Ana makofa ti a makofa na aba no. Mo hwa ade poti ni eye na ni da so a ode edi blaster age. Okoka jeze bo a okobo no turuka ye dwa emfa no ho. Ye be pamu a emfa no ho. Nti ye wo coach ana ye ni bi.
Na say ehu bia nim ti
ye ni coach.
Okay.
Nana ye ni coach. Ayeze wotima ya je adwuma na wakofa na ba. Eni ye wi awade akobusa wan.
Obeyi nani.
Waka toze wotima adwuma no ntimi ye. Usini ukofa ne ba. Onu ana be kofa wifo na ba mo ba wi ande ko.
Yeah.
Iti ye ni coach. Eno ni the first thing na ese ye tu hwana mo. Ezi e pe coach a why na adwen say ono no obeye dwuma na say dwuma wanye ne yi a ebebo no papa ya otiwe say Ghana ekononim say Ghana ekonoji hwe mo no ontrowe na ese o coach nti no na ade a eya asase ba say ye de ne ba okay nya coach papa no oba na ye ni di nkita ho wi a ye man free hand no ono a scout players no form mbo na yenja say we am me boy we eyina omo hwe ball na akasa no asa ye omo agents nti ni pokra o te bench onya ball mbo be 1 year oba blaster obobi na obi a o di akotene pa na esanse onye obi agent ti no ye mfre no mpo no abebo
yeah
ebe de na etimi akwa akodi nkoni nti sa no man ina say tutu ni ye
na say start free coaching but honorable Nancy na FA na decide say assistant for no de ombe sinchen na oma maintain head coach you know asa Ghana for trimu kresen say normally nkie pamu free soro na assistant ayi bi na ya maintain head coach na aye bibia o kakra me sure say o te sansem no o fa na say
ne minim ni say so fa coach na coach na the assistant aba na o de ne say o betu no fo say assistant in the o de aba do mo nse da nim ye local players ne ye kare ni papa enti ye mfa sa di pa we ya wa bob black star na ko enimu na wonim Ghana and Africa football no ye mfa ne mbata ho na on fa futuo kakra mo but normally coach no na the assistant ba nya na o de assistant man
okay
o enti na ebribia he Europe ye pam coach ye pam one ne assistant na ye de wo ban so ana wa nkofo aba na bia aka jo say wa ba be na Chelsea die ye nim say wo ya de no coaches ni be ya de mo be ye probit say Gianfranco Zola o ye Chelsea legend na on church o no mani so e wo team ni na wo hu ye tradition and ye culture
yeah
any say ye kura team na be primary na no be boa ama wo hu say ne obetimi ekuta team de mo masudie no mom de e wo so wo mfre no ema na wo kwasisa assistant mba na coach na ma na assistant na ma afia kodi nkuko o say coach na edi nkuko enye sa na coach football
honorable ene de che say me sure say Ghana ni bia o tie o ne bia no eba ye digest issues with Ghana football honorable wanya abotra wura mu pa na honorable aka be me head of sports bisa question back on na nke yetimi ato aso
ona we yamwadwo yesa mwadwo biem
ya me joso na me chia so
okay ona bo me sure say enensem ekọ so mrahye bedwafie eyade agana fo nipa dodo na mo atituro mo ni je football ho edi akire se de wo ho adani nchi wahyew ene league ni resume yema league ni mra back ye be put measures in place e bi ni security ni sa anyoma no. Looking at the current situation Ghana Premier League ewo mu no honorable obe support to the idea say league ni resume ana say yen twen ni enhye ye nyoma ye ansa na league na sa ba biem
me ba me yo the man hold on
okay honorable ye twen man worry ye twen okay all right your name honorable Isaac Adongo MP for Boga Central and aiding Komo on Promise 102.7 and I feel live on Promise TV.
Radio station
honorable line so onkoye or parking car na honorable abana fe yatoa enkomo twetwe ne so nti honorable Isaac Adongo and yene no AD enkomo no okay all right nti I'm sorry, don't know boy ready. You bet me. Oh, my job for the way ready.
Me say, me nam no na. Every time me nam kwemu na police ni zo na we garden ni. But me na kase.
Okay, na police ni da na se.
Yeah, na o kaza.
Na me bisa say, baby a yegina se about the Ghana Premier League. And komo ye no wadi anwumre e kire say even though because of say the league ni city no he Chelsea more than the Ghana Premier League. Baby a yegina se no omo call say ye league ni en resume eno omo so say anka ye ntwen ni en hye ye nyoma nyina ye say there be a league ni ba biebo say oh ade ade ba die entisan bebre aba ehefa na obegina league no en resume ana ye ntwen ye hye nyoma ye ye ma bibia anya kama ansa na league na ba
yo ni emeka no say atuyenche esi ye say yamfa nyen sakraye na saa na ebobo ebra na chese enu ewu nkwase ewu enti yenu di mu nti no se yempe kra na ese etwesan na ye nsakraye ne yetoto anoma se be ya ye be wiase no daachi bi na Ghana football ko nanimu a ya ka se yenu ana ode ne nkwa etwa so maaye enti ebe eka nkwa dia ye pre akwahe ball na ye bonye pop bia enti yentu yebo na ye yenyen sakre na yentutu noma se ne ebe ya ebe wiase ne yenkote saa nkomo ebiem na yenfa so mpega Ghana football no enko anim nti media animu ya se ka che saa be hia se dia mene wonyane every say asema atu ye no enoma bebre na amfa no kwa so nti se ye hwehwem ne hu se saa noma ne noma we ye gitum se ankoye nti se saa babia nhihye ne saa hihye yi ana yedi besia no se be ya NCBM ne ye be ne se nyame be ye dia na je se ye ya adwen se ye nua na ode ne nkwa betwa so no ye ma abibi papa bia afrimaba
okay
ti omuntwentwa so
okay honorable ye beda wase e wo bra wanya amaye ama enwumre yetimi edi nkomo na aya wote wadamfo hari magwa enka
yami nchade enka United so mo ton so manya ton so ne muza
honorable ye da se me ye sure say ye koye nim ene di bra ukura mo bu nyina mbetimi aka abom na maboa na yetimi asesan ye football no na be kra be hwete se de kan na football ni sitie no nti e be de wase bebre ye so se ebre bi so edu na ye to ye nsa froze ye no be di nkomo so abema ye kwan na ye di nkomo
me jitum ti me da masini akonya mo de amame na edi adwumaden amode boa Ghana football
okay honorable Isaac Adongo MP for Boga Central and yene ne di nkomo on Promise 102.7 Highway Sports and wasugusu a wutie
Welcome to 102.7 FM.
Okay, Yantoso, Captain Siasia Akomia Sachi. Akwaba.
Mzaboko Joso.
Bibi aboko de.
Adumo no.
Okay. All right. Me sure so what you no what you nyoma hodo a course so Parliament. If you no pay be pem awia no nwumre ya betena se ayabo bia. Mamintio ewo ensem ni nyina ho.
Number office. So Tama program let's start here meet here submissions from Honorable Parliamentary Stuttgart. Then Honorable Samuel Uku and so on and so forth. Honorable you know say Adongo
Isaac
Adongo and the lady no our Swatema Omo MP no Sunyano West. And something came to my mind. Even not only Honorable Mekasa so yes them training. Then I'm making say
production with it.
Fantastic production.
Enumre Same me fan enumre hoka.
If Jakoji no. If Jakoji no.
Ma fan enumre.
If that means on aboka means or catch visa.
And on confirm who biem.
Aye.
Ese pe different location man.
No say no so they can all the cast of the father na say S5 no e dey no bi. High +2 hono. And then so yeah 200 upward. Now I was a lot of things were going through my mind. How your German never be brave. Say your my muhano. Come so you there. Oh you're ready. Oh your home so oh your manya akra. It's the be an amount for baby a baby to me. They say procrastination is the thief of time. And the bam to him. Tambia you to a deshada. Tell you to us this is Janopa Agimananka Babe on this autonomous league. Now a mini shadoka. And once sometimes no. I think say club licensing regulations no. Since I gonna share see I think Dr. Kwame Benu akona ne da no. Say ye ka say ye adie no to the letter. Ye no strict akwa. E bia nke ni obi ewi. But because of Ghana the entire kakra edubro bia ye nyanu ho crafts ntimi ana crafts ni sika and the side I will do something so you could clearly see there are a lot of security lapses say about gamer and in his mind that what happened because we couldn't believe say Senka Yako stadium in and the police or educate police officers or what must it take to security no case somebody play and omode enwai e free stadium and can you police play the life is under threat and for that police in situation somebody me abon home mind ediga hwan na sinko betima kwa ye say ama anga kotoko security de na iko na nipa bia ko hia omo na ko ye makoro kan ye kuku nipa sikwa so all these things are security breaches are akoso among other things akoso so you going forward no as no ko do parliament no enu kwa say me de bia me kasa so say Ghana one thing enu ye say talk shop ye be kan say no be kira adwene unya nkofo omo nyansa wo omo nimdie e be kan pa but you don't walk the talk adia no yentu ho na mo sadie we say na see esi won kwan enu tie be sa atena ho say yan hwe ya na the next we are talking about 24 years ago ana me na see and now we are sabesi so be sa atena not the next generation to come they are saka and some clear because assembly ba kwame yentu ho na mo what are more example be so unu abi tu kwan so on tigana ya na kwame okwa buchiri first okodi be 2 years okodi be 1 year na se be okwa otakwa buchiri ba kwame so on tikam na mo drive kwa look at how we behave you see the point oh who ade no be do na who yemu si no eh na ko do I don't know say I don't know say ba no wa first no oh who sa ne ma no so tells us how Ghana kwame am emra yamfa nya djuma you see you know, I think say at high time, I say the parliament lead the way. I want the lawmakers. Oh my no, I want lead the way. Not strictly. You're making sure say the FO, the security agencies, all the bodies matter as far as your football concerned. Kwame, sad name you think na yona afe enye nsama da ho a say the be a football say edipa ebekọ no akọji nani odi na busu abekọ no akọji nani nanka wo free stadium aba no odi ni je bi abafie but se kwame o passion ade a wo so wakoma pe ye ka say football is the passion of a nation na o passion na abekọ na okọ hwe nkwa e de aba kwame hifa ne we. So I think the Penfo nyina from the community Stuttgart because and some see where the ebi anipa na wu ye ebi anipa na wu ye entino kwame utu a asa ye ka because anipa wu but kwame just imagine how many times ana ye hu say ye in football yi kwame ye chase referees ye bo away team supporters ye bo away team players ye bo officials how many times enti bi wa but ye tia because ento ye enti na ye ni. So it has been with us all these years. But you find the sign a football na ebon sa. Now to officiating. 3 days ago I'm raising here. Say come see here. And that was when Otumfo started talking about officiating. And I came out to the boss and say no. Say if be dey bia na be for security be bia na dey abada say ya the officiating aspect of your football. Come and don't see one area ekuyan. But it's a referee said say a referee for of course yes there are other issues there the neighbor. But I can tell you referees take about 90% officiating take about 90% of the troubles across the stadium no. Because of a deliberate attempt say me coach the team. And yet there are genuine mistakes, not errors. And yet my bomb team say team we ever was backed by officialdom. Everything can what teams are your person will qualify. That's our system. That's a all down no. Who you sign Maria? A better for the Marimba. You want team of division one. Omun here you almost say omun person will qualify. Everything is a course sir Kwame. Ebe continue na de bia into officiating must also be looked at.
Okay.
To say the honorable Samuel Okuka no. Otufu aka. Honorable Samuel Okuka at the parliament eka. Obi eka ebe wi oni aka officiating ababrom. So you bet me aye bibia. You bet me bibia ba ya sa area hona. Come be hayen. Et me feel say dem kwa honorable Adomo kan me dem say. Asem maka na bia me bi ni opposition bia ndi amofa no say kwa.
O microphone na tisi.
Kwame yemfa ye nuan yemfa na say ono kra ana ade akirema fa de kana santema wono ade ama ye nyina ye nam no so enye reform
football mu twembo akodua
wala football mu twembo akodua na me free say after that no say bibi ne be ye kwa ne din na be da so a Kwame say Ghana tumi ye sade no
say oben mami nti we
wa onu akoche ben ozo cha pa
o Ghana waba okay osime jene so
Jibo ono ba kan sempi na Jibo info me pick enumere de na say league ne starting na duru ha no na say league ne starting na duru ha no info me pick enumere no a chesa hwe kura na empima kopi me fiada de ket be ba akọ no na ebia clubs ni nyina eji atum statement ba bonten be confirm say next week we start Ghana Premier League no on the 1st of March no as they say there and then the ba hyehyehye yeah confirm ama as to say first no kotokobe bo ana so on body something I mean to me and can see so there but they me picking it say minimum statement na ba there so hu there
enya ma we kotokotreni no eno mo koye Frederick Asare Kamara Fatau Sedu Benjamin Chum
4 goalkeepers ni nyina koye
Lodamo akoye ba one
training
Andrew Najete Patrick Asiedu Akwesi Asante ono jogging okoye onesamba nyina jogging ablo Michael Sifa Ansu Tinedu Chei Dwamana Emmanuel Entry Justice Blay Pitamidu ono so koye one training Vinicius Fernando onzo ko ojoge Elvis Chebafo Kwame Poku Samson Eduku na Isaac Minta omo ntimi anko training ye ene Albert Amoa Saka Dauda na Fimano Kote omo ntimi anko training ober faka kebzo so
all the Kotoko players go training na say
training na start
training na start nti as to say Kotoko ebe ye train ebe I don't know how to put it as to Kotoko be ebe bo on the 1st no I know I can't say for now but the minimum say the league is starting on the 1st time in Saka story na numere hye ba as on bo FA Cup new year na say abo FA Cup include all Premier League teams yes and now what cheers so no and the aka na to FA Cup in the Kotoko Embo before now don't be too Kotoko de na sheda because I think said during the meeting the may picking here say Kotoko laying it down say they cannot start any of the matches apart from say omunya yanki nsi polling we no answer no mabo again team na nkasa so started training nti yombe other consultation the feedback ne buy no and on my team to go ahead to start the training na who news na be say na coach akwesi apia correct me call ada kwajache e motivate boys nti jibo ye be share in the coming days no whether Kotoko be first ni bi and na so mombo but for what I know is that has Kotoko nyina the joint statement e be a last one beba to confirm other news no na dia kene nyina etimi ato aso e wo honti
mama announce
honorable part no think entwen so no it looks like FA no person chair so they enhance security protocols or starting it this weekend. That is what they are saying. Say enhance security protocols ne start week ya na ya hewo FA kan FA Cup ni yakoti bibi bone dia na ne say ye hu dia so be hoping for the best.
053616170201941461 ubetimi afre na waba eye dwumadie ne so na afi won nsem awo no oso ede atu edwa ebre ni nti ye be ne kakran oba na watwa ne tia na onua atimi ababi. Hello Udi baby akasa finado asma to aso
Brajo ni asanti agora
Brajo mbacho yetiu
taba fidiki mpa mbo ode MP for no makata MP sene yanse sawa mani di bola chi sa so mo da kama bola team pon eno monka we ti dia na do bi oponi ni ro ma se omo mani ko pa e ba wa kasa ta sene makata e polisi ni dal.
Okay, Brad John here that's here to us maybe I can say Finado asma to us. Yes sir. Okay, yet you. Okay. Nana Olan I'm say baby I want to so bet you who ya. Okay, na 90 na so ye to aso di bia bia ka se Finado asma to aso.
Your friend Solomon, me frɛ kasa free a chance one family.
So le yanko.
Na me mo ko mata san to ko mpem mpo abaso. An say easy na esi no, na ye start training. No we dey say supporters previous week na ye could training guys no. And I tell them for me bomb say gradually no we need the feel of the game. Na Kotoko the trainer na so bomb match dia etinya ko akota team na chi you are police so but you be na ko fan credit.
Okay, yeah that's solo yanto aso obi foforo ba odin ba bia ka se Finado asma to aso. Evening no. Okay, yeah Joso.
Yes, Michael I'm ka free ku ku dia team.
Okay, Michael
Osha subuwa mo de bo kanel referee ba we can usually Liverpool ni was decision referee ni taking you no later o can reverse decision penalty no and the kanel referee so was VAR here and can so be boy taking their decision metamasi level.
Okay, yes yeah that's it. Yeah to aso odin baby akasa Finado asma to aso.
Imano ma me prepare the man kasi.
Imano etiu
me pa so bo ni de mpedi pono munya botre mo mo pro mo ko bosisi ya o munya botre mai munya botre na na etini ya Hollywood ne ya pa ya munya botre mo mu ditaze po bobo mo munya botre mai pa na mezaka mekano.
Okay, ima ya that's it. Yeah to aso odin baby akasa Finado asma to aso.
Wo mo tutu ne ma.
Why ne?
Baba.
Ayine. Emos.
Must mention you about the
Hey, and me am here.
Papa and some papa, mo papa, meba. Metro Kotoko pocket, then from Papa tie to na to the capacity, not something for money for Ghana football. So let's say the capacity anytime Diana. Ghana football, you go match. Yes, so what you can name to be a quarter of it.
Okay, Emos here that's Udin baby akasa Finado asma to aso.
Me pacho abe kuni.
Abe yetiw.
Me pacho me kase for offense one in group.
Okay, enkoy.
Offense do Colorado please. Offense do Colorado.
Okay.
Me pacho wada uroma. MP na asam na okan ya me no mukreni. Me pacho MP na asam na okan ya me no mukreni wa kire sampa football no nimi. MP na asam na okan.